Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our deal with.
Ooh, yeah. Nah, nah, nah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like a river that is overflow, like a river that is overflow. Come and fill our hearts once more, like a river that is overflow. Let it overflow, 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 let it overflow.
Yeah, blessings. Once again, you know the routine. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All of that helps. So you don't know. Without any further ado, let's get started.
My stance on this, man, I agree with the sister as far as what she was saying, as far as immigrants coming over here legally should definitely be vetted and deported back to where they go. As far as Black Americans, I don't want to say versus Black immigrants, but however, we have to be mindful, man, that I'm 45 years old. I'm a 1980s baby. So the days of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Fred Hampton, rest in peace, these Black immigrants that they were fighting for to come over here, these aren't the same ones. And when they come over here, to me, it's not really so much of a disrespectful thing, but it's such a disconnect. And they have no desire to try to build or connect with us. It's just they're getting into their group and their tribal things, and that's really was causing a disturbance. And it's almost as if they're hijacking what we're doing and basically trying to replace us. Like if I were to go to Africa, any African place, or any place outside of America, I'm gonna humble myself, get familiar with the people, their culture, and I'm gonna just do my thing and bless up and go on about it. I'm not gonna come through somebody else's already established home and build myself up and basically, part of my language start shitting on them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really more of a disconnect, man. It's just to the point where, as foundational Black Americans, I think enough has been said. We need to delineate and just do our own thing. It's no malice, it's no hate. Nobody wishes anybody harm. Just like, the Chinese have Chinatown, the Italians have Little Italy. I think we need to do the same thing, and I don't see no harm in that.
Well, I think the Chinese that have Chinatown, I think those are pretty much immigrant groups that you're talking about.
Right.
So why would FBA want to have something like an immigrant town?
Well,
if y'all are foundational to here.
Well, the thing is, we know who our enemy is, and specifically with the Black immigrants that come over here, they aren't aware of that. And whatever they're being exposed to by the time they come over here, I don't know if it's propaganda, but they have no desire to try to connect and build with us on any level. I mean, I tip my hat off to, the Latino individuals when they come over here, Mexicans, Cubans, Puerto Ricans, they kind of share the same common language, and they can kind of, stick together and band for one cause. When it comes specifically with, foundational Black Americans, man, we have no camaraderie or no allies with anybody. And we're just
Well,
being pushed. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm just thinking, because the Black American holidays have been, Africans and Caribbean Blacks have always participated in those Black American holidays, to the point where now Black Americans are saying that they don't want us to be a part of their holidays anymore. There was a time when Black Americans would be dressed in their, when Black Americans were very Pan Africanist, when they would
Right.
dress in their African gear. So I'm trying to figure out why you say there was no camaraderie, because I think there's kind of always been camaraderie between Black Americans who have been Pan Africanists, and I think it's actually that camaraderie from Pan Africanists that helped with that civil rights movement to get Black immigrants here. So,
Yes.
and it wasn't necessarily, and in my estimation, it wasn't an FBA effort. I think in those days when Pan Africanism was happening, I think FBA and the FBA way of thinking in terms of delineating wasn't even in any Black Americans' mind. Black Americans at that time were a lot more Pan Africanist. So I'm trying to figure out why you think there's never been any camaraderie when Pan Africanism was so big.
Okay, well, I'm Brooklyn born, Long Island, New York raised. And
Oh man, especially, I'm sorry to cut you, but especially Brooklyn, bro, because I grew up in the Bronx, and when I was growing up, Brooklyn was like the center of Pan-Africanism, if you will, and those Black American holidays, and it was just, Brooklyn was kind of the place to be for that type of environment. And I'm sure you're aware of that as well. So again, I'm still kind of at a loss as to why you think there's no camaraderie. I think there's no camaraderie. I think the lack of camaraderie came into existence with FBA and with the fight for reparations, because I think this push for reparations is a lot more out there today with FBA and ADOS, because I think they're really reparations movements, and I think that's really where that rift is coming from, is from reparations and Black Americans feeling that Black immigrants in particular, want a stake in their reparations claim, and they're like, no, this is for us. And I think that, in my estimation, that's what ended the camaraderie, is Black Americans and their push for their very recent hard push for reparations.
Right. And to a degree, man, I mean, to a degree, I can definitely see that and definitely bear witness to that. But however, being an 80s baby, I gotta confess, man, I've always seen the division. I've always, and I'm not trying to sound like, some sucker for love dude, but even, as a young Black American going to school, talking to, a Jamaican female, her brothers wouldn't let her intermingle with me. Haitians the same way. There was different conversations they was having in their household versus my household. You understand what I'm saying? So I've always seen that divide. Always. Individuals would speak certain things, but as a collective, it was always kind of segregated, and it was always kind of grouped up. I actually didn't really.
Yeah, but when you say it's grouped up,
my culture. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But you don't think African Americans also grouped up and kind of, I don't think it was just a one-way street of just Africans grouping up, and I think African Americans also kind of, had their issues with Africans and certain Caribbeans as well. There were pockets of each group, but for the most part, I think that the Pan-Africanism kind of overshadowed all of that. I would agree that, everybody has their issues with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I think overall, at the bigger picture, I think Pan-Africanism was more respected. And like I said, with those holidays, African Americans were decked out in their African gear, and Africans were welcome to to all of their holidays and celebrations, you know. And what you would find when you go to those things, the only thing you would see really are African vendors selling
Right.
African gear, you know. So, but again, I just think people having issues. I think everybody did. Africans, Jamaicans, and African Americans also had issues with. Some African Americans had issues with Africans and everybody else as well. I think today, though, it's just so much more out there. And again,
it reached its tipping point. I didn't mean to cut your wisdom, man. My bad.
No, absolutely. No. You can definitely cut in, because, you know, if you feel like you want to say something, you can absolutely cut in.
You know, it definitely reached its tipping point, because, like, you know, what you said, like, it'd be specifically like an African American day, or even, you know, like a party or something like that, and, you know, you have, you know, African or somebody else, you know, coming through and they're introducing and inducing, you know, their culture, but they're not really spending their money with us. We're spending our money with them. You know, there's soul food restaurants that, my 45 years of living, I can tell you, good brother, I've never seen any African coming there to get some cornbread and collard greens. But I see us going to get beef patties. I see us going to get some jollof and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the tipping, it's like it's always been brewing, and individuals beyond I want to say before my generation, a lot of Africans, Jamaicans, and Haitians, they kind of understood what the common cause of the good fight was when they arrived here. But I don't know if it's the generation after them or the ones that are coming in after them. It's just a total disconnect. Just a total disconnect. And that's
yeah.
Is it all right if I chime in? Is it all right if I chime in?
Yeah, absolutely. But just actually go ahead, Sentinel.
Yeah, peace, brothers. I appreciate what I'm hearing from both of you. Me, myself, I'm Haitian, right? And I'm listening to both of you, and I want to salute both of you first and foremost, because you are taking a mature route and you are really trying to speak from an objective level, trying to gain understanding and share wisdom. You know, so salute to both of you for that. Now, I'm gonna say something to start off, and please understand where I'm coming from. Please be patient. I'm 47. I'm from New York City. You know, my parents migrated here in like the 1960s. You know, legally, nothing illegal about it. I was born here in the United States of America. In the 1980s, I dealt with something horrible. It was like all black people were against Haitians. What was it about? I didn't find out until a few years later, because I'm a child then. We were blamed for AIDS. In like 1988, we had to have a march on the Brooklyn Bridge. It was like 3 million Haitians. Brooklyn Bridge, it shook the bridge. I was like, what's this all about, you know? And you had spoke, Gotti Logic, you said something that is really key. I believe personally some of this is propaganda. You know, I believe propaganda had something to do with what was going on over there back then. And even right now, when you think about it, when a lot of like either Caribbean or African people get over here, they already have a preconceived notion of who or what Black Americans are like. Do we own any of these media platforms? Do we own any of these publications or anything like that? Like, why is it like let's take hip hop for example, right? When you go back to like the 70s, early 80s and things like that, people were trying, the pioneers in hip hop, a lot of them came from gangs, and they were trying to draw people away from that culture and like, let's invest in something else. Let's build something else, right? Like Africa Bambaataa, Fat Boys, all of that stuff. It was about love, peace, and enjoying our time. And then we had the wave of like your Poor Righteous Teachers, X-Clan, Public Enemy. You know, they were raising up Black consciousness, rocking the medallions and all of that stuff. But who made the decision that said, you know what, this stuff does not sell. We're not going to promote this anymore. That was a positive movement that was just moved and just shifted out of the way. And it's like, you know what, guns everywhere in drugs. And I'm not knocking any of the artists who were saying this is what's going on in our neighborhood. But why did that have to become the de facto? And that's what people were seeing worldwide. So when they come over here, there's this preconceived notion. Now, we have a responsibility. I don't care who you are. If you're Haitian, Jamaican, Japanese, Chinese, or whatever the case may be, you have to make a conscious decision. And it's not easy, but you have to make a conscious decision and say, you know what? I have to hear these people's story for itself and not go with like this propaganda piece right here. Because when you have the opportunity to be up close with a person to actually hear their story, a lot of times it doesn't matter about your background or whatever the case may be. So long as you are a humble human being, you're going to find some commonality with someone, no matter where you are, even white people. You know, we could go certain places in the country and, you know, you'll see people, white people in like trailer parks, and it's like, wow, it's like, you know, they're really like destitute. You know, we understand we want to take care of our own. That's reasonable. So the thing, I don't have hard, concrete evidence of any party or organization that's trying to fan the flames. But I can tell you right now, you touched upon something where you said perhaps it's propaganda. Because how is it that somebody comes from overseas and they have a preconceived notion about a certain segment of the population over here? And mind you, it's the Black Americans. Where's the preconceived notion about the white or like the Indians that live out here, or the Arabs that live out here? Why is it the Black Americans that have been targeted with this propaganda? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna just add on to what you're saying, good brother. Because me personally, man, like I was telling a good brother before, and I stand on this, man. I believe a lot of Haitians and Jamaicans, Caribbeans that was here around the time of, you know, Malcolm X doing the civil rights, deep down they get it, they understand. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the ones coming after that, they're the ones where it's just a total disconnect, man. Like you being 47 years old, being from Brooklyn, New York, you know the history of America. You know what Black Americans went through. If you went down to Mississippi today, say you was driving trucks or something, you was driving through Mississippi, and your body, you'll feel it like, well, hold up, man. You know what? This Emmett Till got killed. There's a lot of history out here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where the average dude coming over here, probably in the 90s or something, probably from Africa or something like that, they won't get it. They don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I specifically ran into some Jamaicans that I met in 2012 that been here in 2007 that was telling me, well, you know, if the KKK ran into me, man, it wouldn't matter to me because I'm Jamaican. I would never have to deal with that.
Wow.
Nigga, you blacker than me.
Mm-hmm.
You blacker than me. You see what I'm saying? So it's a real total disconnect. And I think dialogue that we having is something that we really need to have. And I think people need to understand from an FBA standpoint, we're not talking about delineating from every ethnic group. If you a rider, if you ride for foundational Black American, man, and we ride for you, that's what it is. But if you on that cooning, like how we handle our coons, y'all handle y'all coons, that coon is stuff that's got to go, man. That's got to go. And the coon is basically a tether is basically a foreign coon. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's where a lot of the division come from, good brother.
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing is that we had a reality check. I mean, already we know in the history of the United States of America, there's the legacy of lynching.
Right.
I have a book, 100 Years of Lynching. I forgot who's the author. You know, this is a very traumatizing experience and it's very heartbreaking. But I don't know if you remember in the late 90s, Amadou Diallo.
Oh yeah.
This was the African immigrant up in the Bronx, and you know, this was like the tail end of that stop and frisk era.
Right.
And it was like 4 white cops approached him, and he was trying to get into his apartment. They fired at him 49 times.
And he tried to display his wallet, and they tried to pass it off like it was a gun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember that. And the city rolled for him. I didn't mean to cut you off, good brother, but every Black person in New York damn near rolled up and stood for that brother, man. We stood up for that brother. You know what I'm saying? And all we saying, good brother, we don't get none of that love back. That's all we saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you. I'm not saying other brother I'm speaking to. I'm not talking individually, man. I'm just talking collectively as communities. A lot of them, they don't give us that love back. They don't give us that love back. And we just tired of being the moral punching bag. Our bodies is out on the street where everybody else just go get their money and be like, well, yeah, thank you. I got to get my bag though. That's all good, brother. That's all.
You don't think that Caribbeans and Africans came out in support with the George Floyd incident, with all the cop shootings of Africa? You don't think Black Americans and Africans and Caribbeans supported?
Me personally, with the George Floyd situation, I think that was all propagated from what I seen. I was actually in Atlanta when that was going on, and I seen a bunch of white people out there tearing up stuff. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't organic. It wasn't from the grassroots. It seemed like it was some type of I don't want to say a political party. They was warring fractions, but I think George Floyd was kind of just used for people to get outside of the pandemic, man. I don't really think it was I don't think.
Well, whether that's true or not, whether it was organic or made up or whatever, I think it's true that Caribbean Blacks and Africans came out in support of that movement. You know, and whenever any African American was shot, I think in New York City, I think, you know, all of those Black immigrants came out and supported as well. So I'm still kind of like, you know, on the fence when you say it's a one-way street in terms of you guys supported Amadou Diallo, but no one came out in support of y'all. I don't think that's really reflecting the truth of what happened. I think you know, I think they've always, like I said, the way I see it is that, you know, ADOS and FBA are reparations movements. And I think that really, the idea of reparations is really what has caused the rift. And I think, you know, especially the reason they call people tethers, you know, I think the original definition of tethers is an immigrant that undermines FBA and specifically undermines FBA's reparations claim. You know what I'm saying? It's been all centered around reparations. And I think whether, you know, and I think that's really where the drama began. And I think that African Americans are claiming, just don't want anyone else to be a part of their reparations claim. And I agree with that. I'm a Jamaican, and I don't think Caribbean people, like, you should get reparations from America just because you're Black. I think that's ridiculous. And I think only Black Americans that have ancestry in America, that have slave ancestry here, they're the only ones that are entitled to reparations from here. And I think that could have been sorted out without creating this rift, because immigrants like myself, I can't prove that I was here for slavery, so I couldn't make a reparations claim. I would have to go the route of scamming to do that. And I think whether and that's not something that I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And I think whether FBA or ADO, whether those movements started or not, you know, those reparations claim, like, immigrants couldn't make no reparations claim. So I don't know why this rift even came about. What was the point of it? I think that's why I'm like, what is really behind it? Why would y'all create this rift over reparations when it's unnecessary?
To be honest, to only go off of what I've seen, man, it's valid. It's valid as far as what you're saying, the reparations claim. And again, from what I've seen, a lot of Jamaicans and Haitians kind of understood that. And it was like, well, basically what you just said, they understood it. And I'm not trying to throw nobody on the bus. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I just got to be real. I seen a lot of Africans and I seen a lot of Hispanics attacking that. And that's where the rift came back, because they was under the impression that it was like, oh, you're being divisive, you're trying to cause division. It's like, nah, man, This was created, not even really created. We're just saying who we are. So when we pump for this reparations thing, we don't need anybody that's outside trying to cling on to this. Let us get to this, and then y'all do y'all thing. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I didn't really see too much pushback from a lot of Haitian Jamaicans, and I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, when it comes to like a specific task or a specific job, right? You always want to get the right people to handle that job. Maybe when it comes to this particular thing within the black community, whether if you're Haitian, Jamaican, Black American, whatever the case may be, perhaps there needs to be like, what is like public relations almost. Because as we can see, there's something fanning the flames, and there's this divide, and there's this rift, and it's even elevated to the point where there's strife. Now, I agree with the other brother. He beat me to it. Not only do I believe it from a moral or ethical standpoint that reparations for the Black American descendants of slaves, they should receive that. But also remember, we still live in the same areas, in the same communities regardless. So when your condition in your state is finally addressed, this impacts everyone. You understand? Because there's an economic aspect of it. There is a psychological aspect of it. Like generation after generation, not just the disrespect in word, but the mistreatment, tangible examples that can be given, right? The United States government conspired against Black Americans, putting drugs in the neighborhood. They let the drug dealers run amok until it's like, yo, time is up. Now they want to throw these guys in jail. What do you think the pipeline to prison is all about?
Right.
You understand? So there's an economic, there's a psychological impact of it. You understand? And just plain old justice. So when the condition of these people were already here and they throw us all in the same pot together, that impacts everyone. Yeah. Then we could have a break in the cycle of gang warfare and drug dealing and the schools being underfunded and not having the supplies and the resources that are needed to teach these children properly. Right? Even things like the neighborhood, like the supermarkets. Go to a supermarket in a white neighborhood versus a Black neighborhood. It's two different experiences. The produce is different. The meat is different. There's different selections that you will not find in your neighborhood. All of these things, I imagine, like you were talking about soul food earlier, that's a better option. Like allow them to have more opportunities to open these businesses and have these restaurants. Aren't we sick and tired of seeing like these Chinese food restaurants everywhere?
Yep.
And they stuff is poison.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So for as far as the reparations goes, I'm a supporter of it. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. I'm just also a supporter of get the right people in the right places to do the right things. Let's have a sit down, have the right representatives to speak and inform the people so that there could be more of an effective, productive dialogue as opposed to strife and angst. Because some of these podcasts and these things that I'm saying, it's just people getting on and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna roast you and I'm gonna check you and things like that. Yeah. That's childish. We're adults. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. And then to add on too, man, and interject to the host I was speaking with, man, too, as far as the reparations, where a lot of the beef is really coming from, Barack Obama had appointed some Nigerian woman over our reparations. And people were, a lot of Black Americans are like, man, like what's going on? And it sees also to the point where I don't know if she's got some type of Congress seat in Georgia, but she opened up the floodgates for a lot of Black immigrants to come into Atlanta as well. And you know as well as I know, Atlanta was almost like a hotbed, a mecca for foundational Black American excellence. So a lot of things are being pushed, and it comes off as it almost feels as if we're being undermined. But again, I stand on this. Like I said, I've having for the most part, from what I've seen, a lot of Haitians, Jamaicans, they get it and they understand. You know what I'm saying? I think we know who the nature of the beast is. We know who the beast is that we've been fighting. We've been fighting this dude for 400 years, man, and we're gonna continue to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we know what it is, man. We know what it is.
Who is
like you said,
the
I think a lot of it's just propaganda and just hype. My bad, man.
who would you say is the beast, as you put it, or the real enemy?
Man, you know the European, man. That ain't gonna stop. European, man.
How come y'all have never boycotted European stores? How come it's
We've
only...
done it, man. We got a history of doing that, stemming all the way from when MLK was doing his thing, and even when Mike Brown got killed, rest in peace to the brother. We'd actually had organized, and I was in Long Island myself participating. It was October 2014. We tried to stage a nationwide blackout.
I think Sentinel wanted to say something.
Yeah. So, by the way, American Dream, where are you from? You said the Bronx. I think you said that earlier, right?
Yeah.
I think Jamaica.
I lived in the Bronx. I left Jamaica and moved to the Bronx, but I'm Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica, raised in the Bronx.
Oh, you're in the BX. Oh.
Yeah. See, so we all have this thing in common where, I grew up primarily in Queens and Brooklyn, right? And, you're the Bronx, Gotti, Brooklyn, and then he moved out to Long Island. We all share this northeast New York City or New York area commonality. Like everybody just came up together. A lot of times you will see a black person, you might think he was Black American until you meet his parents,
right,
or his grandmother. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, like she's speaking patois to you. It's like, oh, I thought you was like, yeah, I'm Trini or Jamaican, whatever the case may be,
Yes, facts.
But the rest of America is not like that. Here's something I really want to touch on, and I think some of you know this, so forgive me if I'm, retreading for familiar territory, but I'm just stating it just for the facts. ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, that's where the person who coined the phrase FBA, Foundational Black Americans, that's where he originated. He branched off from that. Now, I believe American Dream was stating earlier how ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, are actually moving forward with a legal agenda. Because when it comes to reparations, you have to sue for reparations. FBA, on the other hand, what is the real agenda? They said delineate. First of all, the word is being used incorrectly. That's not what delineate means. They're using the word to express segregate or depart from or withdraw. That's not the definition of the word.
See there?
Who's speaking? Who's that speaking?
That's me, Sentinel.
Sentinel. Okay, go ahead.
That's not the definition of the word. Now, if you want to withdraw from other Black communities and build up your own, I think that's admirable. Everybody naturally has an instinct to do that. The area where I am concerned is where all these stray shots are being fired at. Because if it's okay, we are against these immigrants. If the immigrants have been speaking ignorantly, the proper response when a person greets you with ignorance is to provide them with knowledge. That's what we're grown men. We don't have time for that teenage agenda. So I'm very concerned with the language, the mannerisms, and the brother said, delineate. I was under the impression that this was about reparations. And if it really is about reparations, then why is there like these offshoots? Don't you think that there is more strength and better opportunity to pool your resources?
Well, ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, that was created by Yvette Carnell and I forgot the other dude's name. But they're more or less leaning to become some type of political party. FBA is just pure lineage. Yes, I mean reparations is a wonderful thing, but FBA is just pure lineage. It's about who you are, where you from.
Now, question. Has anyone ever been in a situation whereas someone has passed on and they left whatever they left behind, they had a child or two that had passed on that did reproduce what the child should have got if they were still alive? It got divided amongst their doggone offspring, their children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now check it out. There were 4,000 slaves that were designated for the reparations to happen, right? So, if the government digs back and determines who, or somebody bring their paperwork to say who. This is the original one that's supposed to have got X amount of money. That's your starting pot of money. All the other relatives in the family, after that, it gets split up amongst all of them if they do it the legal way, which they will do it legally. It gets all split up. So all of these people under the impression we're gonna get $350,000 a piece of reparations. No, you are not. Whatever the original amount was, which has been tabulated to be, is $350,000 or $375,000 for 40 acres and a mule per person for the 4,000 slaves. If they put that money on the table, bam, then they find out who's direct ancestors of those people, bam. That money gets split up generation. It gets all split up. So I don't know why people got under the impression that each and every doggone black person in the United States of America will end up getting $375,000 for reparations for slavery. Because I'm like, I know I am guaranteed to be one that will not, because I am not a descendant of slavery.
I think, Leonard, I think
FBA business. What's good, bro? Where you from?
I'm from Alabama. You know, I stay in Houston now, though. I've been in Houston about 20 years.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Peace and love, man. I'm FBA from Long Island, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on a second. Leonard, I think that's why, because the reparations isn't just about slavery. It's also about Jim Crow, redlining, and these are things that happened years after slavery. So I think that's why they've come up with a new dollar amount. That's why it's not just about 40 acres and a mule, because that was just based on slavery. So now when they bring in Jim Crow and everything else that happened after slavery, I think that's why they're saying it's going to be more than just the 40 acres and a mule and that money being split up. So I think that's where they come up with a larger amount. But let me ask the FBAs
let me hit you with one comment. I'll be real brief.
Sure.
The redlining, Jim Crow, segregation, and all of that don't have anything to do with reparations. We could have, if we got this, if we got that, that's some if and. That's not what the way it was written initially. It only covered the freed slaves. It's a one and done. It covered the 4,000 free slaves. Anything extra added to it, that is not going to get honored.
Can I say something?
Sure, yes, go ahead.
To make it less complicated, let's think outside of the reparations, because you know that's a far off shot. Let's just keep it simple. We don't need people outside of our lineage representing us when it comes to this black caucus, when it comes to these mayors. A lot of people are getting these positions. They're like the Red Lobster CEO. We got a lot of black people who went out there and supported him because they looking at him like he's black when he's really Nigerian. None of his dollars are going to touch our community. His dollars are going to go to Nigerian people and keeping them good and more immigrants. We need people representing us. When you become a mayor, city council, I want to know where your lineage is from.
Facts.
You
Was
gotta
that
be coming
FBA
as a
business? Was that
Democrat.
FBA
The
business
Democrats haven't done jack for black people.
I know that.
Anyway.
But guess what? We call them out now. We need a lot of people. We don't know how to we're not differentiating these immigrants who we just looking at. So we got an enemy in front of our face. Not all of them, but we got enemies that's cosplaying as us, and we just looking at them as a black person, not looking at them as a different type of person with a different type of agenda. They don't have.
Yeah.
They don't want to invest nothing into your community. It's not only about just reparations, it's about spending with each other. It's about your lineage, helping our lineage the same way they come over here and say that we got too much stuff on our mind. We don't want to join your fight. We just got to get money. Okay, that's cool. Let us do the same thing. We just want to help each other and get money and not worry about y'all issues. That's how we want to do, just like y'all. I don't understand the problem that people have with FBI. I just don't understand it.
I don't see anybody that has a problem with FBA. What I'm saying is this. A lot of people are under the wrong impressions when it comes to this reparations thing. They're not looking at the legal ramifications of it all, because reparations is what? Isn't that inheritance to something that the ancestors were supposed to get paid? They didn't. So it's an inheritance that goes and goes and goes down the road, right? Isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think because they bring in, if they bring in, like I said, Jim Crow, redlining.
But they can't bring that in.
But they do. FBA,
They
like,
do.
for example,
Okay,
hold on, Leonard.
We
Hold
right
on,
here,
Leonard.
American Dream.
Hold on,
bring
Leonard.
it in, but they can't.
But hold on.
Legally.
FBA Business and Gotti Loke, because y'all are both FBAs. Do y'all believe that Jim Crow, redlining, do you think that those things are also a part of your reparations argument?
I think a good lawyer is supposed to be able to sell it, because you kept me from opportunities that disadvantaged my whole family. You know what I mean? From the patents that was stolen and everything, you know what I mean? Black families should have had wealth that was passed on that just didn't even get an opportunity. If you don't have a good lawyer, if he can't bring that case to the judge.
No, but I'm sorry. I don't know whether you answered the question or not. Do you think Jim Crow, redlining, is that a part of the reparations argument?
I do think it should be drawn in as well.
Okay, so if it is, hang on, Leonard. If it is a part of the reparations argument, wouldn't certain hang on, let me ask this question. If a part of the reparations argument is redlining and Jim Crow, wouldn't certain immigrants who can show that they were redlined or who lived through Jim Crow, wouldn't those immigrants be entitled to some form of reparations as well?
Good one.
I actually thought about that, but would it be a lineage thing? That would be something that need to argue for themselves.
Boy, I love not getting a yes or no answer. Boy, I love it.
They wouldn't be able to ride. They wouldn't be able to ride with us, because I mean that's their own separate situation.
Yeah, you gonna have to get your own lawyer. You can make your own stuff, because we're going off our lineage. Now you can give it. It's a whole bunch of people might be owed something from the American government, but they're gonna have to make that case themselves.
Okay.
Right, but you wouldn't be opposed to them. But you wouldn't be opposed. Hang on, Leonard.
Why would I be opposed?
But you wouldn't be opposed to them making
something?
that argument.
Yeah.
If they deserve something. But I'm not going to make the argument for them.
But you just don't want them to be a part of your reparations thing. Because it would be, because, from my estimation, right? Let's say if you had, let's say, a class action suit, right? Mm-hmm. And instead of just FBA going in there for reparations, if you had a larger class action suit which included immigrants, and granted, the immigrants are only asking for their share of whatever they're owed for Jim Crow and redlining. So they're not asking to get the same amount that y'all are getting. Like, if it would make, because I can imagine that it would make your case stronger. Like, why wouldn't you want them to be a part of your case?
Because the history that we had in this country, and the immigrant thing was the last straw. It's in our spirit. We got FBA that don't even talk to each other, but we talking on the same type of. We on the same We're on the same time. We ain't even physically talking to each other. It's just the spirit that we've been crossed too many times. We don't even want to do that. We don't want to align with nobody no more. We just want to do business. We want to help each other. We want to get our community back in shape, and we want to do business. Even with the immigrant thing, if America would have treated us right, the immigrant thing wouldn't be a problem. If we would have been in the, all of us is not going to be rich, of course. But if it was how it's supposed to be, it'd be more black people in the middle class. So if it was fair and how it should be, like I say, it wouldn't be a problem with the immigration. But when you bringing people in to work slave, try to want us to compete with these people for slave wages, I have a real problem with that.
All right, so FBA business, you just touched on something, right? So you came a little bit later. We were all like introducing ourselves, right? Me personally, I'm not black American. I'm Haitian, right? I was having a conversation with my cousin like a week or two ago, and there was something that we had touched upon that kind of goes along with what you were saying. I feel that it's a real insidious, a dishonorable, really shady move what was done, where like you could have the black Americans that are here, and then the United States of America looks at a different set of black people and say, you know what, we like those black people, and prop us up, and we're like, yeah, these Negroes are better than those Negroes. They you know, like that black on black crime, they pitting black people against each other. It's manipulative, and it's not something that I go for. No, it's not something that I go for. You know why? Because when they tired of me, they're gonna bring the next person. Now it's the Mexican. Now it's the Indian.
Now, whites are not pinning blacks against each other. Whatever. Look, hold on. I didn't say all whites. I didn't say all all white. Look, the bottom line up front. Every time somebody say they meaning white people, put drugs and guns in the neighborhood, so we will eliminate ourselves. Black people never take accountability on the fact of, did somebody pull a gun on you and force you to use or sell that poison? No, they did not. You made a conscious decision to do what you did. So accept your fate.
Hold on, wait a minute. That's not entirely fair, and I'm going to tell you why.
Well, how is that not fair?
Because the criminal who decides to go out and sell the drugs, once he found it in his neighborhood, he's held accountable. He's prosecuted. He's imprisoned. Exactly. Right? But what about the one who put it there in the first place? This person just goes scot-free? Aren't both parties accountable? But why is it only the black person who we see now he's in the handcuffs and now he's serving time?
Why did you have...
Look, cocaine does not grow in Chicago.
Yeah, well, why in Chicago you got a library in every hood, but that's the safest place for any of these black youths to be, because ain't nobody up in there. Nobody reads. Explain that.
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is... Okay,
well then if you get what I'm saying, you should understand that. Well, just because if they get arrested for it, you got to blame the person that put it there. No, I was born with two hands, right? If I slap the taste out my wife's mouth and I go to jail for domestic battery, what, I'm gonna blame God because I was born with two functional hands? Is it God's fault that I was born with big hands that I can slap the taste out of a woman's mouth with? I can pimp slap her? Black.
Okay.
Come on now, let's just be real.
Wait a minute. Okay, so let me use another analogy. You tell me. Let's say a person, right, accidentally, for whatever the case may be, he goes to visit his friend and he dropped his pack in the house. It was like whatever, like some coke or whatever the case may be. And some of the kids in the house start sniffing it, smoking it. You're gonna get upset at the kids, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this drug? You should have left it. Right? And the parents, rightfully so, will punish these children and say, you're not supposed to be touching this substance. I don't care if you found it inside the house. But what about the individual who dropped it in the house? You're not going to hold that person accountable for their reckless behavior?
Bruh, that's a bad analogy when it comes to
I don't think it helps your case to
It don't,
equate.
that's
Hang
a
on,
bad
Leonard.
analogy.
Hang on, Leonard. I don't think it helps your case to equate African. Hang on. I don't think it helps your case to equate African Americans with children, right? To say that
I was
they're
trying
just
to say they're
children that don't know
I
what's
wasn't
best
trying
for
to
them.
say it's children. I'm just using the example in which somebody creates conditions.
Okay, bruh, I understand.
Leonard, let him
example
speak,
you're
Leonard.
using.
Leonard, let him finish.
Okay, I'm letting him finish, and I got one form that's news. You can Google it, and it's in the news right
Sure
now.
thing, but let him finish.
I'm talking about where someone intentionally goes out of their way. They spend money. They deliberately create these types of conditions. Look, you're absolutely right. No person was forced to pick this stuff up and go and do what they did in their neighborhood. They should be held accountable and prosecuted. But there was a precursor that actually led to these conditions, that led to the opportunity for them to even do this thing that was negative in the first place. Like I said, cocaine does not grow in Chicago. It doesn't grow in New York. Where's this stuff coming from?
Yeah, but partner body, man. Leonard knows this, man. Leonard knows this, bro. Leonard ain't stupid, man. He knows that.
We keep getting out for the FBA, and
Leonard on here just wrecking right now, man. This is recreation for Leonard right now, man.
It may be.
No, that's nothing of the sort. That's just that's nothing of the sort. Like I said, it's a lot of doggone. It's a lot of excuses that are being doggone given just because all it ain't no poppy fields.
Let's not talk over each other, gentlemen.
In Chicago.
Hello, gentlemen.
Ain't no
Leonard,
in Chicago.
hang on,
that
y'all.
same
Hang on,
lame
y'all.
argument.
Hang on, let's not talk over each other. When we talk over each other, it's really just noise.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
Let's let people speak, finish their thought, and then say what we have to say.
I want to
Go
give
ahead. Was that Sentinel or Gotti speaking?
No,
I was speaking. I'm gonna land my plane, man. Like FBA, strictly about lineage. What comes with that. We just telling people, man, we doing our own thing. We standing up for us. Basically, if you're Nigerian, African, Haitian, Jamaican, you commit a crime, don't label it, oh, it's a black youth that out here did this. Nah, stand on that. It's a Jamaican or a Haitian dude that did this. Just like when Nigerians and Africans, they get rewarded when they the first pilots, or they the first person that graduated this or such with these accolades, or they make sure that they express, oh, you know, they African this, or this is the first Nigerian for that. Yeah, keep that same energy. That's all we on, bro. It ain't no beef. It ain't no smoke. We doing our own thing, man. We doing our own thing. It's all love. We doing our own thing. But on this soil, y'all gonna respect us, man. That's all. Because we wouldn't go to your home. We wouldn't go to any other place and run for certain places in government and involve ourselves and other people's politics or none of that. We're gonna play our position and do what we do. That's all we asking for, man. That's all.
I have a question for the FBA guys on the panel. With the immigration thing and the deportations, and the last time I did a show, there were a couple of FBA people who actually want to start the process of not just getting rid of illegal immigrants, but they want a moratorium on immigration, and then even a path to get rid of legal immigrants as well. And so my question is, like, and it now appears that the only people that FBA want to share America with are the same white folks that enslaved them. And I'm wondering, do you guys see any type of like contradiction in that? Like, not, I don't even know if contradiction is the right word, but anything weird in that the only people that you're showing respect for nowadays, and the only people you want to share the country with, are the people that enslaved you? Like, how does that make sense to you? How do you reconcile that?
One, we know them. Like, we have so many of these new people coming over here, and we don't know their behaviors. It's like having a new enemy. We know them like they know us. We've been dealing with these people for a long time.
Right, but there's nothing worse than being put into slavery. And no immigrant, I'm sure you don't feel threatened by any immigrant that they're going to put you in slavery. right? And I'm like, why do you feel so comfortable now around white people? Because there are white people now who are delineating from y'all. There's this new place in Arkansas where they're creating their own white space and they're delineating from y'all. So why do y'all feel so comfortable with them that they're the only people you want to share the country with, and you want to get rid of everyone else? What makes you so comfortable around these white folks where you think if you get rid of all immigrants, that's gonna get rid of all your troubles?
We haven't shared it enough. Like, it's like 100 million immigrants here. Like, who in their right mind would invite so many people with so many different cultures, knowing that is going to crash? Like, you see what's going on in Minnesota. These people are some drastic people. Like, they extreme people. Like, what they're trying to usher in.
Not to cut you off though, but in one breath you say y'all are the ones that are responsible for bringing these immigrants here, and then in another breath you're asking who in their right mind brought these people here. Y'all are the ones that said that it was y'all that made it possible for immigrants like myself to come here and other Africans. So what do you mean when you say who in their right mind brought us here? Because you did.
Because time changes. Again.
Gotti Loco or FBA, Gotti, you wanna take a shot at it? Why do you feel so comfortable just being around the white folks that enslaved you? Why is it that you think that America belongs to only the people that were enslaved and the people that enslaved them? Why do you feel so comfortable around these people? The same people that you're asking for reparations from.
Me personally, I don't feel comfortable around no European. I'm pro-black. I'm pro-FBA. I'm more for the separation, my man. As far as the immigrant situation, my thing is, if you're over here legally and you came through the right way, I'm with all that. That illegalness, the divisiveness, the coming over here thinking that you better, and you know that you have certain opportunities that I'm not available to have, those are issues I have problems with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, for me, FBA is a lineage, man. Me personally, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not too much really concerned with reparations. It's just about my lineage. And like I said, my goal of what I want to see, just like in every major city, there's a little Chinatown, a little Italy. Even in Miami, they got a little Haiti. And Brooklyn, they got like a little Caribbean, spot like a Flatbush, Rutland Road and all that. I just want to see, FBAs have their own enclave and their own community and doing what they got to do. That's my desire.
Well, and you mentioned separation at the beginning. Did you say you would prefer that you be blacks and whites be separated?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, and just me speaking, they are separated. Okay, where the white folks that's living in Compton, California? What about Inglewood, south side of Chicago? Don't see none. What about Austin, west side of Chicago? Ain't no white folk living there. The thing is, people need to focus on economics. Focus on economics opposed to skin color. Because as I said before, when segregation was illegal, was made illegal, black folk ran straight to doggone white folk stores talking about the white man's ice cubes in his freezer are colder than the black man's ice cubes. And that's what did it all, destroyed Black America, because Black America lost economic value because our dollars circulated all the way outside of the community and didn't stay in.
A lot of these immigrants that got these major seats and stuff, they finna lose their own little power because you're not gonna be able to gather enough votes. When this spreads like wildfire, and when these people start telling they aunties, granny, he was born over there. Don't vote for him. Don't just say he's just a Democrat. No, them tellers, they be trying to top our reparations, granny. All your little seats gonna be over because you damn sure ain't gonna get no votes from other people. Delineating takes away a lot of y'all power, because y'all just don't have the footwork in this country like that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Ola real quick. Ola, because I was watching on the internet, it sounds as if Ghanaians in Ghana, they're really trying to delineate from Nigerians in Ghana as well. What's going on with that, Ola? Can you why are Ghanaians so angry with Nigerians? Because it actually what's going on in Ghana right now kind of reminded me of what's happening with FBA. Because the same way Ghanaians want Nigerians out of Ghana, it's the same way kind of FBA wants immigrants out. And, you know, if you look at, and all over the world, there's just this thing where people just want to get rid of their immigrants. In Europe, there's a big push right now to get rid of their immigrants. So I wanted to ask Ola, are you familiar with what's going on in Ghana? And why is it that Ghanaians are so, adamant about getting Nigerians out of their country?
Okay, let me explain to you in a very clear sense. You see, in Ghana, you have to understand the population of Nigeria is about almost about 250 million. So Ghana is about less than 30 million, let's say like that. But it's an economical problem. Ghana economy is smaller compared, very, very small. And Ghana is like a state in Nigeria. I can understand, I will not blame them. If you have a population, it's like Canada and United States, right? Only that these people are the same type of skin color, they speak general type of language or English. So for them to be able to understand each other, but we don't speak similar type of languages. So it seems like the Ghanaians are saying in Nigeria, taking over their business, that the Nigerians are the one importing things toward them, right? Or it is the same Nigerians are the one in the retail, right? And they're selling on the cheaper price compared to the Ghanaians who sell on a very expensive price. But people like to buy from the Nigerians, I think so. You understand me? If people don't like it, that some Ghanaians are going to buy from the Nigerians, where the Nigerians are the one importing these goods to them, right? And they're supposed to buy from the Nigerians, and they will be the retail. So it's a kind of like that kind of like rivalry, economical hate, and everything. And that says there's some criminals from Nigeria that in their country has committed crime. You understand? So that will flop the whole thing. And the way back,
you seem to not be as you seem to not have as much venom against Ghanaians. Let me just ask the question. Let me ask the question though. You seem hang on a second, Ola. Hold on, Ola. You seem to not have as much venom and anger towards Ghanaians that you do towards FBA. Can you explain why that is? Why you have so much anger against FBA, who are telling you they don't want you in their country, than you have with Ghanaians who are telling you the exact same thing? Why do you reserve so much anger for FBA? And does your anger kind of validate what FBA say you feel about them?
Yeah, because
good question.
Hold on. Because the Ghanaians that are saying these things, the other Ghanaians are countering them. If Nigeria locked their border, Ghana will collapse. You feel me? Ghana will collapse. And we tell them, if you're a criminal in Ghana, we want the Ghanaians. Look, you see me come here to say, oh, Ghana is bad, Ghana is this, Ghana. No, I don't do that. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. You have to take responsibility of your action. You understand me? Take responsibility of your character, whatever is going on around you. If you're a criminal, if you're Nigeria, you're a criminal in Ghana, they will catch you, they will prosecute you, go to jail there. You understand me? That's what the Nigerians are saying. Deal with them according to your law. If they commit some bad crimes and they need to maybe face the death sentence, let them do it. So we don't have no pity for those criminals. You understand? So we don't just come here to be bashing people, or because we far more population than Ghana, have to be bashing Ghana. No. Some of them have their point in business or something. What the FBA is doing is not business. This is a job pure hate. pure hate on all kind of group of people, pure hate on the Caribbeans, Africans, mixed race. They just hate everybody. This for look, I told you this. My uncle married to a lady from Texas. You can call her FBA, you can call her Creole, but she was one-time board member of Wells Fargo. She never talked about any other things or something like that. I'm hearing from this so-called guy that calls himself FBA that's coming, who called himself Pan African before. When that money is not coming, he switched. For people to FBA now to start saying, "Oh, we were there before. We were already in the United." No, I don't got a problem. But if you want to create your job, right? United States white man know where everybody's coming from. You feel me? They know where who you are. If you want to separate yourself, why don't you separate it quietly and establish a business company? So you can reach more people. You hate the ones that you hate. Let's be honest.
Man, shut up.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second, guys. Real quick, guys. Gotti Loke or FBA Business. What would you say to Ola to show him that what you're dealing with is not just hate? Because he seems to think that Ghanaians are more justified in their anger against Nigerians, and he feels like y'all are just, he feels Ghanaians are standing on business, FBA is just about hate. What would you say to him to show him that this is not just about hate?
I don't need this Gotti, man. I don't need to show him anything. I don't want to know him. No interest in knowing him. Just go home, bro. Just go home.
What about you?
Stop talking. Stop telling me what you think I need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Just go home, man.
What about you, FBA Business? Would you say anything to him to convince him that it's not just hate? FBA Business seems.
My bad. I hit the wrong.
Is he there?
My bad. I hit the wrong button. What was the question again? About he said everybody hate.
Yeah, he said Ghanaians want Nigerians out of their country for justifiable reasons, and that FBA wants immigrants out of their country just out of hate. What would you say to him to show him that it's not just out of hate?
It's not out of hate, because when I used to have to explain this stuff to my kinfolk, because like I said, a lot of black people be stuck in this liberal stuff. So me going on the kind of conservative side shocked a lot of people. I would have to explain this stuff, and I would explain about these jobs. And the example I would always give is, if you go to another, let 100 of you go into another country, you come over there just taking jobs from the villagers. They gonna find your head on a stake. You're gonna die. They're not gonna let you come in there and just take their job. This mass immigration is taking black people's jobs. Literally. I was doing construction work when I was 16 years old. That's a job you can get as a black man, especially if you didn't do right in school, or if you just got a high school education. You can go out there and make you $200 a day. You telling me these jobs ain't important? That's cap. Now in my city where I'm from, Alabama, my state where I'm from now, luckily Trump came in time, but they was just starting to throw them Mexicans up in there. And it was them, and I had been warning people 8 years ago. They thought I was crazy when I was talking about the Trump shit. I was like, man, I don't care about what you like about him, but what he's gonna do is gonna affect us in a positive way. I don't care about what he's saying, what he's liking, all that. What he gonna do is gonna affect us in a very positive way.
Hey, peace to you, Black America. Thanks for coming in. What's on your mind?
Let me say this, bro. So first off, I hear you, brother. I'm also so-called FBA. I don't really subscribe to the ideology, but the lineage part I do subscribe to. When you say that Trump is replacing, I guess, because he's using immigrants and getting rid of immigrants, somehow they were taking the jobs away from us. You know that Trump just laid off almost 300,000 black women from the public sector.
Yes,
we lost 300,000.
Federal jobs.
On top.
Yeah. Federal jobs.
Right, hold on.
Yep.
And then the emphasis, this is the problem for me. The emphasis is on, for the most.
Those were the same jobs that they gave black women them contracts for.
Hold on. He's bringing in European immigrants. He's already said that he has no problem importing not only South Africans. He said he has no problem in bringing white European and Indian immigrants in for higher tech jobs, and those that would also finance the brain drain from other so-called countries he finds favorable. He's going to import other people that are basically either white or white aligned. He doesn't mind importing those people in here, but he doesn't have a problem getting rid of mostly black and brown.
Y'all allow us to say this, but brown is on the border. These folks have input 50 million people in 30, 40 years. That is a problem.
Wait, hold on. Because you didn't address what I said. I said that everybody seems to be hyper focused on him deporting people. You said that they were coming to take our jobs. Mm-hmm. He's allowing white immigrants, and the U.S. policies always allow white people to come import into the U.S., and nobody said a word about it. These white folks have been coming in and been imported in here to take pretty much everybody's job that you said the black immigrants are here to take. Nobody has said anything about. He's been mass importing white people, and it's been crickets. Everybody's been hyper focused on black immigrants who are probably like 5%. I agree with the Hispanics, but when the talking points mirror white supremacist talking points, you don't think that's problematic. I do agree that illegal immigration is problematic.
Talking points that I said?
Huh? You said that they were coming. No, I said that. Well, because mainly Europeans are trying to, obviously they're worried about, because I do believe that immigration can negatively adversely affect us. What was the white supremacy point that I said? I was talking about FBA in general.
Let
me speak one. Immigration. The only people, for the most part, who is trying to whiten America, who's anti-immigration, usually, hold on. The people that usually are anti-immigration for the most part, the people who are worried about their birth rates going in the toilet are usually European Americans, for the most part. Now, you might have conservative Latinos who are white aligned or white adjacent who vote for immigration policies. They are negative, and they do, some could tend to harm black America. But I said those policies, those conservative policies you're speaking about, they tend to align with European conservative think tanks.
So think tank or not, I don't care if a white supremacist say chicken is good. Do I say chicken is not good?
I said that Trump is importing Europeans here by the.
And this is what I want you to do. Go pull up the numbers then and show me that how, in contrast, of Europe is way more Europeans than it is the Hispanic. Go pull up and show me then.
Man, America, since the immigration policies, bro, has been importing white people since the 1940s, bro. Like, in masses. America's 350 million people. Guess how many of them are European, bro?
Yes, sir.
Somebody said that FBA spews a lot of white supremacy talking points. And I want that person to give me an example of one of those talking points.
I've been begging for it.
I'll give you a list of talking points, man, the FBA spits that crosses the line. First of all,
let's hear them.
Okay, so one of them is let's start with it. Well, let's talk about immigration, right? Immigration, he just spouted out one. Oh, this whole notion that they're coming to take our jobs. That as if black Americans in this country who have been here for millennials, like we can't go out and create and carve lanes for ourselves to create our own jobs. I get this whole replacement theory. Man, America has so many opportunities, not only just for anybody. I feel like we could be able to carve out a lane for ourselves. Let me give you a stat. In 1938 in Chicago, right? 1938, where we were forced to live with each other. There was no segregation. This is before
everything but the damn.
Hold on, 1938, where most of the cities were integrated. Were segregated. We had an opportunity where half the businesses in Chicago were black owned. Same thing in Missouri, all black owned. You know,
racist? What did I say that was racist, dude?
Oh, man.
Hang on, let him finish, please. Let him finish.
Did you know that we only spent only $1 out of $10 was only spent in our community? That means out of all the half the businesses were black owned, we had a chance to support our own businesses. Instead, we chose to spend our business and our dollars outside of our community. That's when we were actually forced to live with each other. I'm saying it's a mindset.
See?
Yes, we have obstacles.
We have
Okay.
an opportunity
Okay.
right here to carve out our own land.
And back to the okay. What are we saying? White supremacy.
You see how the man making sense, but they don't want to let him finish.
I'm against illegal immigration, but regular immigration, when you come here legally, instead of saying they're trying to take our jobs, I disagree with that, bro. Especially to go out on a limb and say, I've heard FBAs, man, disparage Africans and Caribbeans in the most anti-black ways you could ever imagine. The same way Europeans talk to us and white people talk to us, I've seen them disparage, FBAs disparage them in the same fashion, in a disgusting, derogatory. I'm talking about, I mean, it's
man,
such a foul way.
Come on, man.
That's what I mean.
Who's speaking? Is that Black America speaking?
Yeah, that's
who's
Black
speaking?
America. I'm Black America.
FBA business.
All right, Black America.
1,000 times. That's my point.
So, all right. So let's have one of the FBA guys respond to your first claim of how they're spewing white supremacy. So you're saying they're claiming, because I remember, the whole. There was a whole march with the white folks marching, chanting, "You will not replace us," and I think that's what you're referring to. So let's have someone respond to that.
He said no. He said he can call out a million things. The white supremacist didn't say nothing. He did start babbling.
I said
the
replacement theory is a white supremacist talking point. In fact, ADOS, Yvette Carnell, was a part of that replacement theory project. She was on a panel with a white supremacist group before she came out publicly and had to apologize and walk that back and say she was not a part of that immigration project group. You respond to that. That's not a white supremacist talking point when you got it from a white supremacist organization.
So many high numbers.
So let's have them respond. Let's have them respond. Go ahead. Either FBA business or Gotti or anyone who's affiliated with FBA. If y'all can respond to what he said.
And I think this is what he said, but I'm just saying, why would I support something about bringing in millions of immigrants? If I'm a black man in America, and I know this it's a lot of unsaid rules, and if I know I got a problem getting hired with a white dude in front of me, got a problem getting hired with a Mexican dude in front of me, and they're gonna have a problem with the immigrants in front of me because the whole name of the game is to keep us at the bottom. That's how the system works.
Bro, why am I going to invite people? What do you mean hire? Why are you trying to get hired when you can hire yourself?
Dude, stop talking like the top 5 people. Stop talking like the top 5 and 10% of people. 90% of the rest of the people, regular people, who gonna go work for other people, dude?
Okay,
come on, now stop talking like in la la land. We talking about right now. What's going? Most people gonna go get a job.
What other groups own mass corporations like that? Most Mexicans and Hispanics own small businesses, bro. Give me an example where they own Target and Walmart and Fortune 500 companies that are locking you out strategically in that same way that Europeans are. Give me some examples. Or Asians. I ain't talking about beauty supply stores. I ain't talking about mom and pop local stores that are not hiring.
Did you not hear me say earlier today when I did construction when I was 16 years old?
Bro, you could... All those major construction companies in Siceboro are owned by white people, dog.
And your point? What's your point?
My point is you can go... Those things you can go get a job yourself. There's not the Hispanics locking you out, bro. Or black people locking you out.
Well, tell me you don't know nothing about math without telling me you don't know nothing about math. When them Mexicans come on the job and he said he can do it for 45 cents cheaper per yard and all that, guess who's gonna get the job? Wait, let me finish.
A Mexican American citizen is not doing it for 45 cents. Bro, I'm talking about legal immigrant.
Let me finish, my guy.
Well, hang on a second. In fairness, Black America, when white supremacists talk about replacement theory, I don't think they're just talking about immigrants, are they?
For the most part, yeah, they're talking about being replaced by immigrants and the people that are here.
Okay, go ahead, FBA business. You can respond.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's simple math. When these guys come out here, they can do a job cheaper. The company is going to hire them because they can save money, and they're going to have a more of a docile person who ain't going to speak up. When you're a Black American, they know you're going to say something out of place. You know what I'm saying? So am I wrong for taking somebody that's irrespective of me, but they want that docile immigrant who barely got it?
Legal immigration, or are we talking about legal immigration?
Both.
Because legal citizens typically, when Hispanics after their first generation, or even a Black immigrant after their first generation, their kids are likely to ask the same thing that you're asking for.
The first generation to put my people out of damn work.
Man, and mass,
I'm sorry, dude. But just like y'all, the people, when y'all get throwing your shots, what y'all say, y'all at the bottom anyway. Bam, let me claim.
I don't say that.
Most of your people do. Most of your people do. You know, when they get online, they get to talk about us. They want to say we slaves and at the bottom. Okay, let's go by the number. Then we at the bottom. So we need those jobs, my boy. Until we jump into the middle class, we gonna need them labor jobs, my guy. We gonna need it, and we gonna need to get paid for them. We ain't trying to do $9.75 an hour. You gonna have to pay for the 2025
paid. For us, our mindset is to be about creating jobs in our own self. We have enough.
Yeah, we need to do that. Until then, we're gonna have to live in reality. Until then, which is part of the LBA, when guys coming together, talking more, saying it. So ain't nothing wrong with LBA, because this is LBA, one of the most positive things that happened to us, and that's why everybody's so mad, because it got all these guys who probably know how much they had coming. Now we coming together. That's dangerous.
We have that power. We have that power, why is everything about exclusion instead of building? That's all I'm saying. We should be focused on building. We have that power. But none of the rhetoric the FBA is talking about is about building or empowering anything. It's about online telling everybody we're going to delineate at the same time. F you, boycott instead of building. Who is talking about building? A museum? I ain't talking about a museum. I'm talking about a grocery store, an institution, a bank. How many of these dudes are talking about building something?
None.
That's my only that's all I'm saying. It sounds good. I mean, we could all just say, hey, yeah, we delineate, let's get online and talk shit about the Caribbeans and the Africans and stuff. That feel good to your soul, I guess. When you leave here, though, why are we boycotting somebody when we should have been building? We didn't have to go shopping with them in the first place, right? They should be shopping with us. For them to come and shop.
Hey, bruh. When 5 years ago, if you remember, just 5 short years ago, bond with my African brother. Ain't that how it was?
I don't believe it ever was like that. I wish it was, but it hasn't been like
that.
Well,
it was like that verbally. It was like that verbally. Folk wearing kajente, whatever that cloth is called, and all this other stuff. Even when them doggone white folks in the Capitol gonna wear the cloth and take a knee and all that old foolishness that they was doing. Yeah.
Let's delineate in terms of economics, group economics, political power, but it's more about slandering people that look just like us than anything. It's evolved into that, bro.
Get what we gonna do? We gonna fire that ass up right back. That's what we do. We
what up with who? Who up with what?
Y'all jumping into the wrong battle. If y'all gonna make 40 million people who good at janking and making fun of people and stuff like that and setting trends, y'all gonna want to anger them people.
No, I get it, but it's a roast fest now. I just
on the body, man.
You still dealing with regular people. I bet you ain't got on one Pan African site or one site with some Nigerians and came with that same
bro. I've been to Nigeria at least 7 times, bro. I've been all over the Caribbean. If we trying to do it like
where are your people from, man?
Mississippi, bro. Mississippi, Texas, and Louisiana.
Hold on. Let the brother answer where his ancestors are from.
My family is from the lineage FBA. I ain't got no Caribbean, no African. They all from here, bro. Clarksdale, Mississippi, bro.
Clarksdale.
Mississippi. Yep. Bro. Louisiana, Louisiana.
Freeport.
You somebody talk like you and they ain't a tether. It's only one thing they can be. They Democrat. I mean a super Democrat.
Come on, man. Look, bro.
A super Democrat.
So now it's gonna switch up. Hey, bro, hold on. You just broke down. You just broke down where your people from.
Now, let me speak.
Now it changed to Democrat.
I ain't speak, bro. Let me speak, bro. First off, man, you can't confuse what people talking about online. You can't confuse that with what's going on offline. Like me, for myself, I drive trucks and I got a cleaning business, and I'm in contact with FBAs around my little situation in my city where I'm from. So online, man, a lot of brothers just wrecking, bro. Yeah. This is online. It's the internet, man. It's entertainment.
I believe that.
So good brother from California, the FBA brother from California, salute to you, man. But you got to keep in mind, bro, online, this is entertainment, my G.
100%, I believe it. And I'm doing the same thing, bro. Yeah, 100%. I love my lineage, bro. I'm proud as fuck to be Black American, bro, to the max. I'm just saying, it just, the range of what an FBA is, it's some good brothers in the middle, but it oscillates too much between some people who are very much even anti-Black, women, and anti-Black, and it ranges to people who are good brothers and people who want to be in closest proximity to white people. I've seen the range go so far, I can't attach myself to that. I am with defending our lineage, bro. I am. But it has evolved into a lot of foolishness. You cannot lie, bro.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Did you vote for Kamala Harris?
No, I did not. I'm not a Trump. I didn't vote for Trump, though. I'm anti-Trump. I'm anti-Kamala. I don't like neither one of them. I'm involved in a political process, but I voted independent. I'm an independent dude.
Okay, well, if you didn't vote for Kamala and you didn't vote for Trump,
I'm always Green Party.
Stop, bruh. Hear me out real quick. There was only 2 candidates running, so if you didn't vote for Kamala or Trump, who did you vote for?
Bro, think about this, bro. What are you talking about? Is only 2.
There was only 2 candidates running for president.
No, it's not, bro. Cornel West ran as well, bro, and Jill Stein, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
Jill Stein, the whatever party. Okay, Cornel West.
Yes, brother.
What party does he represent?
Green Party Independent. I just told you, my brother.
Oh, what party does Cornel West represent?
I just told you, Green Party. Why are you?
What party does Cornel West represent?
Oh my God! What are you talking about?
Yo, let him get on it all night, man.
This dude right here, brother. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna flex on here. Like I don't like the end. That's another wave that y'all are. Y'all like Trump voters now. This new Black conservative face. I'm not with that either, bro, at all. Come on, man. A black MAGA? Stop it. How is that progressive for FBA to vote for be a Black conservative? That's like an oxymoron. How on one hand y'all take from Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson, he also said Black conservative is the oxymoron. He's like, what Black people have in this country, what do we have to conserve? Why the hell would a Black man be a conservative?
Okay, I'll tell you what a Black conservative is. A Black conservative is a man or woman that in the least of your life accomplishments is you got married before you became a parent for the first time.
That's socially conservatism. I'm talking about
that ain't no. See, now you're trying to deflect.
That's not deflecting, brother. Conservatism.
That is deflecting.
It is more than just aligning yourself with either Christian politics or social conservative.
No,
politics. Mine
is not Christian. I don't believe in any of that crap.
Okay, let's talk about politics. Why should Black people align?
Okay, I can't hear the both of you all. Go ahead, bro.
Why should Black people, as far as policy is concerned, align themselves with a conservative movement, a right-wing conservative, typically neo-Nazi, far right-leaning movement? Tell us why.
I will tell you why.
Okay.
Name what else the so-called names you use for that party. What have they done to Black people?
They've created a climate and have created legislation and laws that have harmed Black people for generations.
What, like the 3 strikes law?
Yes, that's one.
Yeah.
That was the Democrat. Sorry.
Hold on.
The 1994 crime bill.
Don't sweep this under the rug, man.
I'm not sweeping shit. I'm giving you facts.
I ain't one of them. I ain't one of them conservatives.
No. Yes or no answers. The Clinton crime bill.
People that are going to tell you on one end about this 94 crime bill, but then the next end they're going to tell you those Black people were thugs and criminals. They deserve to be locked up.
You know what?
Y'all do that.
I wish. You know what? I wish I could be a mind reader. I wish I could be a mind reader because I win the lotto.
I know how that is. Show me how. Now again, how does Republican and neo-Nazi conservative policies positively impact the black community? We know about voter
The
suppression.
neo-Nazis were Democrats.
Huh? Oh my God.
The neo-Nazis were Democrats.
Man, I'm talking about today, right now, not.
And that's what I'm talking about.
So they're
today,
Democrats.
right now,
So
and have always been.
So neo-Nazis are Democrats right now.
The neo-Nazis have always been Democrats.
Let's change the subject.
All that have been trying to kill black people in the South and trying the South to rise again and coming north with that rhetoric have been the doggone Democrats that lost out in all their economic power once slavery ended.
That's why the biggest part of the base of the Republican Party, particularly the conservative Republican Party, are pretty much white supremacists.
No, they're not white supremacists. The biggest part of the doggone Democrat Party as a blacks is who? 92% of black American women.
Oh, this dude right here. Let's just change the subject.
Ain't no change the subject. You just can't handle facts, and you don't want to research the facts to look them up. Because prior to the Kennedy administration, blacks were Republicans. Okay, was the first black senator?
Let's move along.
Was the first black senator a Republican or a Democrat? Do tell.
I know these type of dudes. I'm not.
Hang on a second. Hang on, Leonard.
Was the first?
Leonard, hang on. Leonard, hang on a second.
Women.
I just wanted to say to I think it was Black American that Leonard is correct. The Democratic Party does more historically. The KKK was a part of the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party. And let me just finish. Let me just finish. The Republican Party was started. The Republican Party was started to end slavery. So historically, the Republican Party is not a white supremacist party. The Democratic Party, I think, more takes that label.
Everybody moved on, bro. That was how it was.
There was no shift and move from the Democrat to the Republican Party. Stop it.
Crazy. I'm about to look at it right now, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah, look it up right now, because you know what? Prior to, I can sum it up real quick. Prior to blacks shifted to the Democrat Party, they were Republican. The first black American senator voted in office was a Republican in Mississippi. The first black Democrat voted as a senator in the United States was Carol Moseley Braun in 1993 in Illinois, Democrat.
Listen, brother, it started off like that. Yes, we started off as Republicans.
And when Kennedy came into office, that's when it switched. Blacks got all on the doggone page with the Democrats because of Martin Luther King.
Oh my God, bro.
And Jesse Jackson and the rest of these doggone Negro mouthpieces.
Party, bro. All the white supremacists, bro.
Well, hold on. The brother was saying that there was a switch. The information
there wasn't a switch.
But you just said
he can't prove it.
Wait a minute.
It's called a Southern strategy, bro. I just looked it up.
Black America, hold on. Brother Leonard, you just said that the blacks originally were attached to the Republican Party and now with the Democrat now. So that is a switch.
No, that's a switch. Hold on, brother. That's a switch of the voting habits. That's not a switch of the parties and what they try to do. Now, check this out. Let me give you another piece of history. Now, you all know about the D.W. Griffiths movie, Birth of a Nation, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That was the first movie ever shown in the White House, right?
Yep.
By Woodrow Wilson, right? Democrat president that tried to turn the North legally with the same rules as the Jim Crow South. Look it up. Look it up. I'm telling you. Don't trust what comes. Don't trust what I say because I said it. Look up the history and read it for yourself.
All right. So Did anybody really get around to answering American Dream's question? Because I missed it, or there was just a lot of Nate.
Well, what was the question?
The question where he asked for the Black Americans,
Yeah.
when it comes to deporting all the immigrants and basically just leaving you in the United States population with the white descendants and things like that, who are the ones responsible for holding you as slaves. Why are you comfortable with that condition or that environment as opposed to dealing with an environment where there may be a mixture of other people? I mean, that's exactly how
I tried to give an answer to that, saying that all whites did not own slaves.
Oh my God.
See, there we go. All whites did not own slaves. Hence the Civil War, hence the abolitionists.
That was a bad question anyway. Like he's saying, why would we want to be?
That's a bad question.
No,
oh my
saying,
God.
It's a bad question. What he's saying, why would you want to be with whites only? Let me finish.
What's with being on the victim Olympic team?
It's a bad question because he's saying, why would we want to be left with white people when that's not going to be the case? It's 60 million Mexicans. Probably about it's 60 million legal Mexicans.
Million. It's only like 45 million immigrants total. So it can't be 60 million Mexicans.
Okay. So it's 40 million black people.
Nah. I gotta agree with the brother with what you just said, because the Mexicans have exceeded the black population in the United States. It is how many? 42 million black Americans? 43?
I thought it was 48 million black Americans.
Well, 48?
Of that 48 million is 10% for immigrants, half of immigrant children, and then the other half of immigrants who was born in another country.
37 million Mexicans. It's 10 million more of us than it is of them.
It ain't no 10 million. How they number one minority now then?
What you say?
They the number one minority now. We're not the number one. We're the third. We the number two minority.
Okay, so FBA.
You're probably
I think you're misconstruing the
Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. Hispanics as a whole, because that would be Mexicans plus Puerto Ricans plus Dominicans.
Exactly, and they're what? They're Hispanics.
He said Mexican. He said Mexican.
And guess what? The 8 million that you're telling black, 10% of that is immigrants from the islands to the Africans.
See there? So when you got you classified Hispanics, which they're all Hispanic.
Technically, yeah.
Okay. Now, if you look it up, what are they? 19, 20% of the population of the United States, and Black America has been holding steady at 12 to 13%. So that means, yes, there are more Hispanics in the United States than Black Americans. And then you have to consider the Black Americans the blacks that are here, they look like the foundational Black Americans are counted into that doggone ratio.
Absolutely.
And then you also have to consider those Hispanics, they could legally classify themselves as white. So all of them don't even classify themselves as Hispanics.
Just depending on which census they taking or how they want to use the information.
Yeah, non-white or white. They can set that. Okay. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So blacks don't have the doggone ability to classify themselves as black, white, of white descent. Come on now.
I know. What was the question? What question?
Back to the question. Why I was saying that, because I didn't think it was a good question, because I was saying that the 40 million illegal Mexicans or whatever, they're not going anywhere.
I believe all the illegal should be gone.
I'm saying the 40 million that were anchor babies or whatever they were, they're not going anywhere.
Well, if they're anchor babies,
it's a bad faith question, because 40 million people not getting deported. Then you got 20 million Asians. Then you got 4 to 5 million Indians, which fall upon the Asians too.
Well, it depends on if you're an anchor baby or not.
I mean, if they're not gonna go back that far for all the anchor babies, but the 14 million, they're not gonna go back 20 years and all that stuff. They're not gonna have enough time.
Well, that depends on what the government is tasked to do, because a lot of people say what the government won't do. I hope you all do understand that 9/11 was an inside job. So do not underestimate what the government is capable of.
I mean, one thing you don't have to worry about the FBA doing is underestimating the government. You got books, and then you got what we know. We got a little. We know the unsaid rules. We know you got to read between the lines. We know everything they put in the books ain't true. Because our history right here, we pretty much hit to that.
Like I said, I just
So
don't
now,
see nobody
now,
this
this goes
other
back.
white immigrants coming in.
This goes back to something that one of the brothers mentioned earlier, where they were talking about white nationalist or white supremacist talking points and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about how far back the United States government might go to potentially strip X amount of people of their citizenship, that's what happened in Nazi Germany. When they decided they wanted to get rid of those Jews and things like that, they went back and started checking out their history. They quote unquote delineated from those Jews that were over there and started stripping millions of people of their citizenship.
Yeah, way easy.
Those that they could not trace back 3 generations.
Right.
Those that could not be traced back 3 generations. Yes, I'm well versed in that too.
Right, exactly. So what I'm saying is, in the conversation with like the FBA, and they're talking about, okay, I can trace my lineage back in this country X amount of generations and things like that. I just hope that a lot of people who are delving into that or going down that path are cognizant of parallels in history and what was the implication where people started doing that.
Mm-hmm. Because when people make themselves ignorant of history, history repeats itself, does it not?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, these dudes, half of them want to be Native American or Indian or something. I mean, let's keep it a buck. I mean, the Black Greeks just sued the government saying that they forced them to not claim that the Black Indian was already here. This stuff is coming out.
Nah, the thing about that.
That's not what it said, brother.
Okay. Yeah, you explain that because I can't.
Because the Choctaw and the Muskegee, they were being sued for not being allowed to be citizens of that nation because they didn't have ethnic or racial ties. Some of them have, the very few, but most of them because they were enslaved by that nation. That does not mean that they were here before the colonizers. That's not what that court case was all about. Black people do like to so-called tether themselves to these Native American people, to me, in my idea, because they are very disgraced of their African heritage. They'll rather be anything other than African. So they try to say, we're part of that nation.
We mix with a lot of stuff.
Some of them married into the tribe, and some of them have a Native American grandparent or two. But most of them will parade around as if all 18 of their sets of great-great-grandparents were Native American, and they all intermarried with other Black Native Americans. It's insane.
Now check this out.
Go ahead.
Now, you'll not have Indians doing a DNA test because these Indians are supposed to so-called natives of this country. Actually,
they're Asians.
And Aboriginal Africans. They're Mongolians and Aboriginal Africans.
Whoever said we weren't African, they will keep on. Why y'all keep on? Y'all acting like we saying that we are not African.
Huh?
We not out here saying that. We saying we mixed with a lot of stuff.
No.
You just said that. We're talking about the actualities of it all.
Exactly.
People act like American Indians are an entity all their own that just cropped up out of this country, and they are an individual nationality people like the Asians, like what do they call the Europeans? It starts with the A, them, and like the doggone Africans.
So FBA, listen to this, right?
I'm confused about this, brother.
Props to you because you don't go down that route. I was in engaging with some people in the conversation earlier today, and they were specifically saying they are not African.
I'm 100%. I'm
Nah, you gotta be some
I'm
code.
not talking about they not saying they're not mixed. They're saying they're not African, period. They're saying they were from North America for thousands of years
That's
ago.
what I'm saying,
they
bro.
were part of this tribe and that
Man,
tribe.
these people
Now
crazy.
listen to this. Remember, we all have access. Not all of us did it, but all of us have access to get our DNA tested. And it could tell you exactly what
they don't want to do it.
Exactly. And everybody, including Black Americans, even though it'll be mixed with like, African, like 70%, and then maybe like 15-20% European, and then you'll have a little bit that might be something else that'll be Native American. That Native American part is negligible.
It's admixture, man. It's admixture.
All of us.
It's mostly admixture. That Native American is admixture, less than 5%. That's why they always say, well, my great grandmother was a Native. It's never their grandfather. It's always some great grandmother.
The mitochondrial DNA. Yes.
So my whole thing is, you're more white than you are Native American. Do you go around saying that you're white? You won't do that though, because you're 15%, usually larger with white DNA, 15%. But they walk around, I'm Native American. I got 5% Native American, or my great grandmother. If you mistake a Native American and call them African, they would be offended. If you call them anything other than if you call them a Native American, they will never get upset with you. You call them
African, $5 Indian, if you ask me.
And see, the thing is this:
80 to 90% African. So I'm always
and
talking about African.
And the thing is this:
those white Indians are the real ones.
Brother man, they don't get DNA tests because they know if they get a DNA test, it's going to show how much African ancestry is in their bloodline.
I don't know. Y'all were talking to a small group of FBAs who didn't want to have nothing to do with Africa. I think y'all are very wrong. I think y'all might be arguing with people, and they be like, "Man, I ain't got to be no part of no African anyway." Y'all taking it in a literal sense. Yeah, come on.
So are y'all saying? Hang on a second, please. Are y'all saying that regardless of where FBA goes back, traces their history back to, it's going to go back to Africa?
Vast majority, absolutely, 100%.
Of course.
No, definitely.
Yes, everyone will. If
that's just the birth of the world, everybody bloodline go back to Africa, right?
I'm talking about 400 years ago. I ain't talking about an ancient Pangea. I'm talking about.
400 years ago, pretty ancient too, brother.
I ain't talking about some Paleolithic age. Stop with this, everybody from Africa. No, we talking about your immediate ancestors.
FBA business. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not telling you no lie. I was watching a live stream with Tariq Nasheed. He's the one who coined the phrase "foundational Black American," and he said it. He was saying we are indigenous people over here. He said it on that one. I don't know if he's gonna write it and update it on his website and all that, but he said that. Remember, a lot of people are following his lead.
If he believe it, then it's really unknown, because so much has been stripped from us, and you telling me that there was no possibility of it being dark people on this land already.
I didn't say not.
It's a word they call it. They got something for that map. They say a long time ago, Africa and America used to be together, but it split for some little thing that happened. I don't know y'all probably heard of it.
You're talking about continental drift. That's like a million years ago, bro.
Right. We're talking about 400 years ago. And we got the facts now. We got science. We got DNA. We got historical documents. We have evidence at our fingertips. But these dudes rather fill in the blanks because they do not want to admit the truth. It's here. It's not that.
Okay. All this. At the time we just spent on this, what difference does that make? All we saying is we are a little bit different. This is our tribe. Just like if we were saying we were Jamaican. Just like if we were saying we were Haitian. All we saying we're a little bit different. We went through something different. We see this nation differently than the people that come over here. Most people that come over here, they got a great opportunity. They life change. We've been getting beat the fuck up for them 400 years you described. We've been getting beat the fuck up. Fight.
Hold on. FBA biz. Hold on. Listen to me, dude. I'm Haitian, right? I ain't your enemy, dude.
No,
I feel your frustration. I feel your frustration, bro. I feel your frustration. I feel 1,000% what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that in this whole this whole conversation, this whole conflict that's going on right now, there's stray shots that's being let off and people getting caught in the crossfire, and it's not necessary. Because before you got on, I was saying, me personally as a Haitian, I was saying like, yo, you know what? I support your petition and you trying to go for your reparations. Maybe some people might not agree with me supporting that, but I think it's only right. Not only that, but it affects all of us anyway, because you're the predominant black population in the United States of America anyway. So if it's going to improve you, it's going to affect all of us. You know what I'm saying?
But
so
listen,
I don't got
who's the predominant?
He's right.
What did you say?
He said that black people, which he's right, out of all the black people, black Americans have the numbers here in America. We are the dominant population.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure, because I thought I heard something
but in
else.
fairness, right? In fairness to FBA, they are if we're gonna say Native Americans, if we're gonna call those Indians Native Americans, knowing that they came from Asia somewhere.
Yes,
right?
Mongolia.
Like they are. Hang on, Leonard. FBA, in calling themselves Native, they're just as Native as the Native Indians, or they're just as indigenous. If it's true that they've, like, you know, in fairness to them, if the Native Indians can be called indigenous, given that they came from somewhere else, FBA can also be called indigenous, even if they came from Africa.
I don't see how those are congruent.
Okay, now riddle me this.
How does that work?
Now riddle me this.
No, I'm saying we all don't have a problem. Hang on, Leonard. We all don't have a problem. We don't have a problem calling the Indians that were here Native Americans, even though we know that they came from somewhere else. They didn't just pop up out of America.
But they were here.
You're saying it was such a okay.
Thousands of years. Yes.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Black people were here before. Black people were here before Columbus, but not in mass like they tried to pretend, as if like there were millions of African people here before Columbus.
That's fair.
Right. It was millions of people on this land. Now check this out. Did anybody ever wonder or think in their mind when they talk about all the Indians and this and that? All of this was west of the Mississippi, right?
Right.
Initially, but slavery started on the East Coast.
And my whole thing is the East Coast.
But the Aboriginal Africans, they were here already. The Aboriginal Africans and the Mongolians, they were bumping and grinding, and that's what made the Eskimos. And that's what made these so-called Indians, as they call themselves, why they look so much like Eskimos that come from that cold climate. Stop playing.
Well, that's the argument against them. North America, if you go on the East Coast corridors, that weather is conducive to people who look like red-skinned, more Indians. The tropical regions down in South America and Central America, those people would have even more of a connection with that climate to be darker skinned.
Exactly, because the Aboriginal Africans inhabited that land and moved north.
Yeah, we would not look the way we look phenotypically with our hair texture in those cold-ass climates that you guys are loving to attach yourselves to for thousands of years. It's no way, bro. We will be in tropical environments. Why is our hair and our skin look just the way Africans look like in those tropical environments? Even in Papua New Guinea, even the Australian Aboriginals, these people are in climates that produce these type of skin tones and hair textures. Throw this on top of there. Throw this on top of there.
Hold on, Leonard.
Throw this on top of there.
Let him finish, Leonard. Let him finish his thought.
Okay, it's important for me to add it into his point, though. I gotta add it in. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead.
Oh no, we are not hairy people like the Europeans.
We're not.
Because you don't need all that hair covering over your skin to protect your skin from what? The cold elements? Hello.
Fun fact, I got no hair on my lower legs at all. My sister was questioning me the other day, like, yo, you shave your legs? Hell no.
That's what I'm
got no
saying.
hair.
We
I
not
don't got
hairy
no hair on my arms really like that.
because
either.
we come out of
I have no
tropical
hair on my
environments, bro. Me
arms, on my
neither.
legs, on my chest, on
Me
my
neither.
back.
None.
I
Absolutely.
got hair on my head, over my lip, around my face. That's pretty much it.
These dudes are getting lost in Africa, man. These Black Americans that be claiming they Native American, they would get lost in Africa. Nobody would notice you was not an Indian, brother. And the thing is, on one end, they'll be like, hey, I am Native. Look how red and look how straight my grandmama hair was. But then they'll be like, well, I'm Native because my skin, look, we grow hair and nappy hair too. Like, y'all will admit that these people are red skinned with long straight hair.
You heard 3 people that say most black people do not deny them being African. Like I said, we thought Africa was something more than what it was when we was little. When we didn't find out Africa was a piece of shit till we got old.
Nah, brother. If you call somebody black or African in the 60s, then black just got accepted, brother. You call somebody black or African in the 60s, that was like a fight. Before that Black Power movement, that was a fringe group. A lot of Black Americans today are trying to take credit for a fringe group of conscious people that had the Black Power movement, as if all
No.
Hold on.
No, bro.
Let me just finish this point. A lot of us nowadays saying like, oh, we were always Pan-African. Man, I've been in Black America for the longest, brother. You know how long it took for even people to even say the word that they were African or black without fighting? Mm-hmm. Most of us wanted to be anything but black before African. They'd be like, I'm mixed. Mm-hmm. It took us until generations to even accept the term black before Kwame Nkrumah and SNCC and a lot of the Black Power movement came about as a backlash to the blaxploitation films in the 60s. Now, James Brown, when he did I'm Black and I'm Proud, he had to do that though, and a lot of black people have perms at that time, straight presses. A lot of black people at that time, you would get into a fight for being called that you were black or something like that. Gradually, this stuff became mainstream where black people started to accept their blackness. It was
people trying to just figure out, trying to pinpoint who they is. You putting this much energy in when there's so much other stuff to this FBA. The only thing you want to pinpoint is 5 people who online who came on set and said they might got some Indian in them.
Nah, I'm talking about
we'll hold people out. Everything was script from us, so you won't even give people the right to wonder or try to figure out who really they are, and that's what you are. That's what you want to spend 3 hours on the phone talking about instead of the issues of FBA or what our purpose is or what we believe.
Well, that's what they have DNA analysis for. Go do that. Spend that money and find out.
I'm not saying that, brother. I support some of the things the FDA say. I'm just telling you some of the negative elements. It's some positive. You want to talk about
so what's the negative element of that? Because all you saying is some people said they got some Indian in them. Most FBAs you ever had, like you said, had grandmamas who said they was Indian. I said, of course they gonna think they're a little Indian.
I said one of the talking points was this notion that FBAs always say this talking point.
So all these grandmamas just had a reason to lie while they saying they were
everybody who came to the Caribbean. And we was always accepting other Africans, like all Black Americans were like Pan-Africanists, like it was some kind of dream.
Okay, get out for that. So you telling me, and none of these immigrants can come to America and a Black American didn't welcome them in? If you came to, you can go get food off of somebody. People feed you. You stay in the community. Come on now, man.
It wasn't.
We known for getting played because we be too nice. I thought you might try to judge us off the violence, but we known for getting played for being too damn nice.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. We are welcoming people. You are right about that, 100%. Did we have our isms too? We did. We have a roasting culture. From people who come from the outside, they probably was not used to that. FBA slandered people from the outside. We did. I believe as a dose, though, we're very welcoming. We're very welcoming.
You had the same people who were calling the folk African booty scratcher. The few that did, guess what? He was going back to the FBA and said, look at them dirty ass shoes you got on, nigga. Everybody had to go through it.
Yeah, that's
every African I hear online, the only thing they say is African booty scratcher.
It was tit for tat.
Yes, exactly. Tit for tat.
Everybody was just welcoming like that, like we all pretending like they was just like we was like, come in here, my brother. Nah, it wasn't like that. I agree.
I just wanted to share something, if that's all right. I'll let it be known, I'm not Black American. My parents migrated to the United States of America from Haiti. like the 60s. They did it legit. Now, in my experience growing up in New York City, you know, I'm a late 70s baby. You know, I'm at the tail end of Generation X. I had the misfortune of growing up in New York City where basically my people were blamed for AIDS. And there was always something. Like,
and the witch doctor. I know they, man.
And
I remember that.
Not only that, but it was always something. I had like these funny neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Like it was always something like, yo, you Haitian, like just being born was like some curse or something like that. You know, I felt a certain way. For some reason, I ended up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1993. There's no Caribbean community over there like that. Not that I know of. And I didn't sound then the way I do now. I still had a little bit more of an accent. People thought I was like Jamaican or something like that. Whatever, right? I'm telling you right now, it was a culture shock to me to seeing black people being friendly. That was not my own people. That was Haitian. I was like, what? This is almost something surreal. Of course, there was a lot of white people there too. You know, a lot of the white kids, some of them were cool, some of them weren't. But this was the first experience in my life, that stretch that I was over there, where it wasn't like a fight every day, where it wasn't like somebody trying to roast me for not having whatever type of clothes or you know, not having the you know, being hip to this type of lingo or whatever the case may be. It was so much to the point that I didn't even want to come back to New York. It was that bad. But eventually I did have to. And I had issues with some of the same people. I ran into them again. You know, but there comes a point in life where, you know, we have to think to ourselves. When we start to acquire knowledge and wisdom, and we have to ask ourselves, what do we want to pass on to the people who are observing us? You know, if I were being petty, I would be just like some of the people that are in the chat, because there are some people that are in this chat right now that are like FBA, forget the tethers and this, that, and the third. And on the other side, there's other people that are like, see, the FBAs can't stick together, things like that. What does that produce?
Right.
Because for me, like I said, I'm in favor of reparations for the Black Americans. Now, as a Haitian, I feel that we have a case against the United States, but I don't think that we should be lumped in together with y'all, because your experience is your own. Our experience is our own. What we share in common is that the United States of America and France, they work together against both our people.
Absolutely, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like what happened over here? Like think about it. Think about our cuisine, right? What is big? Like some of the things that are popular with Black Americans. Isn't there like pig feet, chitlins, and stuff like that? So meanwhile, cool, in the Caribbean, what did you see? You see oxtail. The Asians in some cases got like chicken feet. All of these things are animal scraps. The prime cut of the animal went to the slave masters, and they gave us the stuff that they supposed to throw away, and we made something out of it.
Correct.
It's a different part of the animal, but we share that in common. It's just a different experience based on like the specific region. So for me, I really see it as like, yo, there's a propaganda in place that try to paint certain people certain ways. They've been seeing like I remember in WWE when I was watching wrestling, there was this Haitian character called Papa Shango. He wasn't even a real Haitian, because later on he popped up as the Godfather. Remember, he was that pimp character. That was the same Papa Shango that was supposedly doing voodoo in the ring.
That was the same Papa Shango for real.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this is what they gotta show. This show is like, hey, there's always gotta be some voodoo stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no such thing. Yo, in my church, okay, I got one of my sisters, she's a judge. I got one of my little brothers that I be teaching. He's in med school right now. He's gonna be a podiatrist. One of my other homies, he's a lawyer. Another one owns a contractor and things like that. We believe in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We teach that. We ain't about this stuff. There's always this image being depicted about us in a certain way. And when outsiders encounter us, it's like, oh, those people, da, 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 da. FBA business, sound familiar? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it that you got all these people that come over here or if you went somewhere else and it's like, oh, Black Americans are lazy. They always smoke and crack and all that stuff. It's the same stuff. Meanwhile, look in the public. You don't see online. There's no riff right now. You ain't gonna find the Irish fighting the Italian.
No,
or the Scottish, going at it with the Russians and things like that. They keep their stuff on the low if there's anything. It's like, yo, you stay out my way, I stay out your way. Let's build up our own and do this, that, and the third, and that's it. We're the only ones over here trying to be at each other's throats over scraps.
So, Brother Simno, man, you said it best, man. I totally agree with you. And FBA business, trust me, I'm about the business of FBA. FBA, in terms of like some of their talking points, I totally agree with. There is a space where we do need to defend our ethnicity. We cannot act like there isn't a fringe group of people that come here and they do purposely undermine us. They do disparage us because, let's be honest, in these quiet circles, in Black American circles, we don't disparage Africans or Caribbeans. We don't, amongst our families, we don't tell each other not to date a Jamaican or Haitian or a Bajan. We don't even have those conversations in our families. I don't even, not even to the Latinos, and I'm not a get along gang with the Latinos, but we don't disparage these people at all. Even Haitians, we might roast in high school or elementary. We don't have those conversations, but I have heard Haitians, I've heard Jamaicans, I've heard Africans have these, don't date these Black Americans. But I always say this in response: the music industry, we don't boycott. The Hollywood, we don't boycott. These entities are responsible for spreading the negative smear campaign to the rest of the Caribbean. They're principally responsible for disparaging our image worldwide. So when immigrants do come here, I give them, Black immigrants anyways, grace, because I know what the Europeans have spread, the kind of propaganda. When I'm in Africa, the pictures and the videos that I see of us, all the ratchet stuff. So I have to take accountability there. With the European, he is the main focus if I am able to boycott. But I'm also focused on us building as a response and not just getting online, because these points are valid, FBA business. I'm all about it. I just want to be more about just not just talking, getting this habit of just civic fighting and just infighting instead of building. But also we give grace to our brothers, because a lot of these are not like that. Like this brother right here, like-minded individuals should connect. Those of us who are ready to build, we should connect with each other, because it's only going to be a few of us anyway. The masses, they're going to be here online and go home, and they're not going to be about the business of building for FBA. They just want to come online and talk shit. They're going to go back home, go to their job. They was not even pro-Black building anything for FBA on the streets. That's all I got to say. Link with like-minded people.
Yes, sir. And thanks for coming in. Respect to you. FBA business, final words?
I think FBA is probably one of the best things that happened in a long time. Just because it's bringing a lot of people together. Like I said, we got to have conversations at first. Guys got to talk. We separated right now. That's why I support it so much, just because it's going to force us to deal with each other. Even if other things, transpire, whatever, but we all we got right now. A lot of the immigrants, when y'all come over here, y'all got y'all communities intact. Y'all building with each other. Y'all practicing group economics. We ain't doing none of that. So anything that can force us to come together, I can't do nothing but support it, because we need it bad, and that's it.
Leonard, your final thought. Who said Tariq is? Somebody said Tariq is Cuban. What's that all about?
Tariq, that dude. Yeah, he from Detroit somewhere.
Sorry, I digressed. Go ahead, Leonard. Your final thoughts.
Yeah, he
and
from
Leonard,
Detroit.
let me say this, Leonard. I think you're a wealth of information, bro. Like you just seem to have. Yeah, man. I've been listening to you. You have a lot of historical facts that's very useful, I think. So appreciate you, bro. Go ahead with your final thoughts.
I tell you, final thoughts. Now, with the brother that was talking about Haitians and they were stigmatized for AIDS, I remember that. Oh, I remember that well. And that wasn't just New York, that was nationwide. Man, don't have sex with one of them Haitian girls, you may get the... And they did, and that was done. Now, Another point is, if you had Black Americans that wasn't so busy trying to signify, play the dozens, be a freaking comedian. See, a lot of people look for acceptance through laughter. They want people laughing with them instead of laughing at them. See, that's the reason they clown so much. And if it wasn't for that mentality, it would be more than 45% of Black America being middle class earners and getting their money on than what it is. There's only 45%. And then as soon as you one of them people, oh, you think you better than me because you got good credit or you make this much money or you, but it's always some type of jealousy amongst each other in the clowning. And then a lot of people look at all this Black power, this and that. You're like Angela Davis with the Angela Davis family came over here on the Mayflower. She come from privilege. But as long as you preaching victim Olympic hood, they rather listen to that victim Olympic crap than try to actually get up, get out, and get something. And as to the togetherness thing, and that's where I land my plane. Anybody on here, they want to know about anything? Just doggone research the Blue Vein Society. And if anybody want to know the reason, well, I did not do anything heinous in the process of all of what happened to me growing up in the 70s, light skinned in the say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud era, because my parents explained to me the Blue Vein Society concept, and they told me those people are only reacting because of the light-skinned group that developed a whole doggone clique and completely separated themselves from dark-skinned Americans after slavery was over with, due to the field Negroes being upset at the house Negroes that were mostly light-skinned anyway because they were the masses' children. You dig? So a lot of this stuff here ain't gonna never be repaired between the Blacks in this country because there's too many doggone things that are divisive, right? Now, there's no traits of memory in DNA, but behavioral traits are passed down in DNA. So y'all take that with you. Blue Vein Society, research that. I'm trying to give y'all some wisdom here so y'all can check it out and get a better understanding of why Black Americans act the way they do.
Yes, sir. And speaking of wisdom, if you haven't done so yet, hit that like button, please. We're about to shut down, but you still have time to hit that thumbs up. Sentinel, your final thoughts.
First and foremost, I stumbled upon this by chance, and I have to say I'm very appreciative of having this pleasure of having this discussion with all of you. It got a little turbulent for a while, but it was great. American Dream, pleasure meeting you, Leonard, FBA Business, Black American. I believe in this climate with this, I guess, conversational movement, what's going on right now. We need more stuff like this, not where we're doing just that nonsense where it's like get somebody to call in on a podcast or whatever, and then we take your shots at each other and roasting and then checking each other. No, let's be constructive grown men and speak about positive things and actually put these things into fruition, make it actually happen. Black America said it perfectly. Let's not just leave the conversation online. Let's do things constructive and productive for our communities. I want to say to the Black Americans that are on here, as a Haitian, look, I'm not here to step on your toes. If anything, I'm telling you, yo, go get yours. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hate on the next black man. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can for your community, because I'm sincere. I'm genuine with what I said. You're the dominant Black population in the United States of America, and your good fortune affects all of us. You know, hold them accountable for the atrocities that they've committed. You know, it's a disgrace before the eyes of God. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say one love to all of you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody in the chat. And please, let's leave the negative stuff behind. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing that's productive that's going to come from this Black group wants to flame, roast, antagonize, or anything like that of the Black group. Historically speaking, that has never produced good fruit, and I don't see how that can right now. So with that, I say shalom, one love, peace.
Yeah, I would definitely echo that. You know, delineating doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go at each other. We can still be cordial and delineate. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, yeah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like a river that is overflow, like a river that is overflow. Come and fill our hearts once more, like a river that is overflow. Let it overflow, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it over, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it over. And let the people come from miles around as you send your spirit down, just to revive your church, to revive your church again. Please come in like a rushing wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Let it overflow, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it over, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it overflow, let it over. And let the people come from miles around as you send your spirit down, just to revive your church, to revive your church again. Please come in like a rushing wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again, like the rushing of a mighty wind, like a river that is overflow, like a river that is overflow.